Yeah. like the chance to win a Force FX lightsaber, all you have to do is like the videos. But we will be discussing a lightsaber and lightsaber crystal far different than any of these more conventional blades, and a lightsaber crystal so rare it took a long grueling trial to even locate a single crystal. But more than this, a crystal that when placed in a hilt became a lightsaber that was so valued and dangerous because of its application in combat and through assassinations. In this video, by far, we will be discussing one of the most powerful, most deadly, and rarest lightsabers in all of Star Wars. Today we will explore the origins of the Ghostfire lightsaber crystals, and even more deadly and important than this, the fact that when placed within a functioning lightsaber hilt, these lightsabers produced no sound. If a Ghostfire crystal was integrated into a hilt properly, again, it would create no sound at all. This lightsaber type is in fact so rare that within universe there has never been a single lightsaber wielder that has possessed and integrated a Ghostfire crystal within their own lightsaber. What this means is that although we know of the Ghostfire crystal's existence, no person has ever successfully integrated one into their lightsaber that we know of. The Ghostfire crystal is perhaps the most rare of all lightsaber crystals, as its power is unlike any other blade in the Star Wars mythos. The Ghostfire crystal can only be found on planets in the Outer Rim and on the peak of the highest mountains within these planets. These crystals only produce themselves on a select few worlds, and more than this, these worlds have never been documented before. What this means is that it would take literally decades for one person to locate a Ghostfire crystal. The crystal is completely clear and translucent, making them extremely difficult to spot. When placed within a lightsaber hilt, it creates a blade that cuts just like any other lightsaber. However, when activated, the blade has two properties that make it far superior to any lightsaber used by the Jedi or the Sith. When the lightsaber crystal is activated, the blade produced is nearly completely clear, meaning in combat it is almost impossible to keep track of. And even more dangerous than this, the blade is also silent when activated. What this means is that when the practitioner activates the weapon, they can remain completely concealed. If used properly, the Ghostfire lightsaber becomes the single greatest assassination and stealth weapon of any Force wielder, as they can use a lightsaber to its greatest effect without ever revealing their location. They can switch their lightsaber on and off, and no one would ever know. Even deadlier than this, keeping track of the blade in a lightsaber duel is nearly impossible, as the opponent would have to keep their focus trained on the hilt of the weapon at all times, in order to know where the blade itself was. If they faltered or took one misstep, they would be dead. The blade would be nearly impossible to defend against if used with the fighting style of Form 6 Naiman, and used in the same way the Sith Lord Exar Kun fought. Exar used a style of lightsaber combat where he would deactivate and then reactivate his weapon on the fly, even altering the intensity of the lightsaber blade during a duel. Exar would force his opponent to adjust quickly and precisely after the blade deactivated in order to recompose themselves after the blade switched off, as they seldom had any idea where the next attack would come from. Having a lightsaber that was already translucent to begin with would make this even more dangerous. This method of lightsaber dueling was also used by the Sith Lord Darth Traya, and pairing this with a translucent lightsaber crystal that made no sense.
Yeah.
On today's episode of Star Wars Battle Breakdown, we take a look at one of Thrawn's most impressive victories. In 27 BBY, the Republic launched the Outbound Flight, a colony and exploration ship meant to chart the unknown regions and then travel outside the galaxy. The Outbound Flight was largely a Jedi project and was crewed by 18 Jedi, including 6 Masters. Seeing this as an opportunity to weaken the Order, then Chancellor Palpatine, under the guise of Darth Sidious, ordered his lackeys in the Trade Federation to destroy the ship. This brought the Federation into the unknown regions, and more specifically, into Chiss space. Today, we'll discuss the ensuing battle, which is from one of my top 5 favorite Star Wars Legends books, The Outbound Flight. Now, I highly recommend that you guys experience this without spoilers, so if you want to read or listen to The Outbound Flight, click away now. I personally highly recommend the Audible version, which is fully voiced with sound effects, music, and great narration. The book is available on Audible. You can get a 1-month trial and the book for free by going to audible.com/Eckhart'sLadder. Also, full disclosure, I do get money for every person who signs up, but if you want to support the channel, that's a way to do so, basically for free. Everyone else, let's continue with the battle. So, the very sizable fleet, made up of 2 Lucrehawk battleships, 6 hard cell transports, and 7 cruisers, were detected by a Chiss patrol, led by military commander Thrawn. The Chiss patrol was quite small, with only 3 time cruisers and 9 fighters. After failed negotiations, the Trade Federation opened hostilities by launching half of one of Lucrehawk's fighters. The other 3/4 of the droid starfighters were kept in reserve due to both the short operating range of the droids and the underwhelming nature of the Chiss fleet, with perhaps the thought that more ships would be coming. One portion of the fighters was sent forward to engage the Chiss fleet, while the others remained behind in defensive screening position. Thrawn moved his fleet back, guessing the operational range of the fighters, while also sending one of his own cruisers armed with an interdictor generator to sit away from the rest of his assets. He found the point where the droid fighters could not move forward anymore without losing signal from the control ships, and conducted an experiment. Thrawn had 1 cruiser and 1 fighter move briefly into the operational range of the starfighters, then quickly retreat. He did this over and over again, much to the confusion of the Trade Federation leadership. Each time, the starfighters would begin to engage the Chiss, which would then pull back, at which point the starfighters would return to their initial position. Kinman Doriana, aide to Palpatine, on board one of the Trade Federation warships, actually believes that Thrawn is attempting to block the communications between the starfighters and the Trade